Hi guys, how's things? Southern Scouser here. It has been a very long time. Very long time since I've done a video. I missed all of last season, lots of family stuff going on. Looking forward to the new season. Obviously, it's just kicked off with Liverpool versus Chelsea. And I want to get back to some videos. Obviously, you would have seen me on the Red Sea podcast a couple of seasons ago, which was good fun. Difficult to get that one back up and running, but I'm definitely going to be bringing back some Southern Scouser videos. Hopefully a few more serious ones, so a little bit more content to it, a bit more of a better setup and intro, etc. But I just want to kind of get back to doing the basics and jumping on some quick mobile phone videos that I can do for you guys with the latest ongoings and my thoughts and your thoughts really with the current situation at Liverpool FC. So yeah, obviously first things first, transfer window is well underway. Not too much longer to go, and quite frankly, it's been a shambles, isn't it? This summer we started off really well, bringing in McAllister and Szoboszlai. We all knew we needed a new midfield this time last season, last summer. You know, yes, we were what 2 games away from a quadruple, which was absolutely unbelievable. But we all knew deep down that was the last hurrah of this particular era, this particular group, and especially that midfield. You know, the likes of Henderson, Milner, Thiago, I include in that, Chamberlain, Keita, just don't contribute enough, and we're coming to the ends of their careers. Some because of age, some because of injuries. So really, we needed to kick on it and sign some players. You know, the Bellingham saga, etc., and it didn't happen. And you know, last year showed that you can't rely on 18, 19, 20-year-olds to carry you over the line, unfortunately. One interesting one for me was Fabinho. Yes, he didn't have the greatest of seasons last year, but to sell him for £40 million, still 29 years old, for me is a massive mistake when you've not got anyone to replace him. Yes, I like Bajcetic, I like Jones, I like Elliott. Carvalho's been loaned out, so we've got some decent youth in there, but you do need some senior players in there as well, and senior players that you can rely on to be available. And Thiago, unfortunately, can't be relied on. You know, we've released Keita for a free. Chamberlain, Milner have all gone for free. I get we maybe wanted to bring some money in. The Henderson one was a surprise, but it makes sense if you've got someone else lined up to come in. I'm looking out there at the moment, having let Fabinho go for 40 million, which I think is a mistake. Who are the CDMs out there that you can sign that go straight into that position at that level? And for me, there isn't any. You know, Rice has gone, Tonali's gone, Caicedo's gone. They were big free CDMs that were out there and available. Obviously, Bellingham went earlier in the summer, not necessarily a CDM, but yeah. Is it potentially time for a formation change? You know, we've seen in pre-season and against Chelsea, Gakpo's come into the team, and yes, he's played slightly deeper, but it's basically a 4-2-4, isn't it? You know, with Szoboszlai and McAllister in there. You know, Jones and Elliott can definitely come off the bench. Are they quite the same impact as those two? I'm not so sure, but you know, the front line looks good. You've got Nunes, Jota, Salah, Gakpo. It looks really strong. I don't know. I don't know if the midfield is still there yet or not. I'm really not sure. I still think we need a couple in there, which would be great. So it's Luis Diaz as well for the front, by the way. I forgot about him. But yeah, it's an interesting one. There's a couple of weeks left of the window. I even think, you know, yes, Trent could go in midfield. Could he play that CDM role potentially? Obviously, if you do want him to do that, he could kind of go in between right back and midfield, which I think is a good idea. But again, we have no other right back. You know, Calvin Ramsey was meant to be the guy. Barely played. Has now been loaned out to Preston, and yeah, I think clearly that one's gone wrong. So do we bring in a right back? Is that easier to find at this stage of the window than a CDM, than a specialised defensive midfielder? Or do we just go all out and change to a 4-2-3-1 and maybe play a cam instead with the front three? You know, the likes of Danny Olmo had a really good hat-trick against Bayern Munich on Harry Kane's debut in the Super Cup, or the German Community Shield, if you will. I think there's other midfielders out there that we could bring in, you know, cam position that could potentially do a job. But at the moment, yeah, you know, Liverpool, yes, we've improved in terms of Szoboszlai and McAllister are definitely upgrades on players that we had last season and players that weren't available. But yeah, I think we need to bring in either another DM. I genuinely am. I'm looking at the lists on Twitter of the players that are remaining in that position. And I don't fancy any of them. And I think that's why the Lavia deal wasn't done that early. You know, this big desperate £60 million bid comes out when Chelsea have already wrapped him up, because we didn't want to go to 50 because he's not worth £50 million. He's 19 years old. He's had one full season in football, in professional football, and he's been relegated with Southampton. Yes, you know, well done on that one. You know, look at the Newcastle signing Tonali. Caicedo goes to Chelsea, just finished sixth, seventh in the Premier League. I think it might have even been sixth. So yeah, Declan Rice was another one. We could have got Declan Rice. We could have gone for Declan Rice, but we decided not to enter the race. And if you stand still, you go backwards. And unfortunately, that's exactly what's happening to Liverpool. They didn't strengthen when they were at the top of the game. You know, they won the Champions League, didn't sign a soul. And this is what happens. You know, unfortunately, you can't keep relying on Jurgen Klopp to be the difference maker in these signings and these players' decisions. You know, London will always be a big pull for players and their families and their wives and money. And as long as you want to carry on saying that Liverpool is special and FSG is special, players don't care. You know, Caicedo wants to live in London. Caicedo wants to get more money. Why would you not do that? You know, they don't look at that anymore. It's not like it used to be. Oh, I want to play for a legacy club. You go where the money is and you go where the lifestyle is. This is what this new generation of player are interested in. So, yeah, let me know in the comments who you think we should sign, whether that be a DM or whether you agree with me and maybe a flat 4-3-3 with box-to-box midfielders, or a 4-2-3-1 with a cam is potentially the way to go. I don't think we have a cam at the moment. I think Diaz and Salah are out-and-out wingers. I think Jota can play anywhere across the front three, as I think Gakpo can as well. Nunes I prefer down the middle. He has been trialled out wide, but I'm not a fan of that. And you know, his size, his profile is a number 9. So yeah, I'd like personally someone like Dani Olmo, someone in that cam position that could come in and create something different. You know, yes, CDMs are important. You look at Casemiro, you look at Rice. You know, I know Partey did a job there. Rodri's a big player. De Jong, Busquets. You know, they're specialist players. Tchouameni's one that's been mentioned, but yeah, if you look at these lists on Twitter, etc., there's not really anybody out there at the moment that I think improves us and is good enough to play as a first choice player in that midfield, which is why we've seen, you know, the 4-2-4. We've tried McAllister there, we've tried Jones there in that CDM role, but yeah, I'm not particularly impressed. So I think we either need to find a specialist DM or we need to change the tactics and the formation and the style of play. As I said, Trent would be a good addition into that midfield, but still plays well from right back. But again, you know, are we going to bring a right back in? So I still think we need a centre back as well. I don't rate Gomez enough. I think Matip is one of them players that's coming to the end. Konate and Verge are good. Can they play every single 60 games each? No, they can't. So I think another centre back would be a good one. You look at Man City, how many centre backs they've signed this summer, and how many they've now got on the squad. It's a fair few, isn't it? So maybe that's the way it's going. You know, Man City changed. They stopped playing fullbacks. They started playing a back three. So, you know, it's not set in stone that you have to have this DM. We've played with this DM ever since Klopp came in. Pretty much it's been Fabinho or Henderson ever since. So, yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more movement in the window. We've shown everybody we've got £111 million ready to go. So, in my opinion, we need a centre-back, a right-back, a centre-mid, and I think we'd be at least in with a chance of getting back into that challenging kind of position. You know, Arsenal and City have kicked on again. United have kicked on again. Chelsea, again, have been linked with Olise now. That they show no signs of slowing down. So, yeah, it's 5 teams into 4, which doesn't go. Tottenham are going to be in big trouble without Harry Kane. And yeah, you know, obviously I was watching the Liverpool-Chelsea game at the weekend. Again, started well, but I think faded, and I think Chelsea, you know, probably if there was going to be a winner, it deserved to be them. The penalty, in my opinion, was a handball. It wasn't given, but in terms of the actual overall gameplay, the overall possession, the overall, you know, Chelsea dominated most of that game and had a few chances as well. I think Chelsea can feel a little bit aggrieved that they didn't come away with more, but I think a draw was probably fair overall in terms of, you know, the penalty decision and etc. like that. So yeah, Bournemouth up next. It needs to be a win, you know, at home to Bournemouth. Start of the season, we need to start strong. We need to go on one of these runs now where when we won the league, every game that you're expected to win, you know, you do win. It doesn't have to necessarily be beating Chelsea away and City away and Arsenal away. You know, draws away from home against the big 4, 5, 6 teams are okay, but you need to win. You know, what, out of 19 games at Anfield, you need to be winning, I think, at least 15 of them. I really, really do. Arsenal were exactly the same last season. They were absolutely flying, almost a perfect start, and still didn't win the league. And you know, we've been there before. We've been neck and neck with Manchester City 2, 3, 4 times, and unfortunately come out on second best every time. You know, the one time we did win the league was pretty much a one horse race from the return of since COVID. So yeah, I think personally transfers is really the name of the game at the moment. I think we are missing one or two. I'd be amazed if we didn't sign somebody else, especially in that midfield position. And yeah, you know, it looks like Lavia is going to join Caicedo over at Chelsea. But yeah, other than that, guys, it's good to be back. I'll be uploading a little bit more often, and as I say, I'll try and get some more professional ones back out, get my old equipment back out, the camera, the mic, all that kind of thing, and set up and go again, which would be really good. So I have missed it. But yeah, you say, you know, life gets in the way. The Red Sea podcasts would be great to get that back going again. But lots of people have their own things going on. And, you know, we started that pretty much during the COVID sort of times. And, you know, a lot of us had nothing going on and a lot more free time. And, you know, me and James both have kids. They both do a lot of stuff. You know, they both play football. And, you know, it's difficult to find some free time to do it. So, yeah. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments in terms of the transfers, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.